Good afternoon, YouTube. So I just woke up here at I don't know, 20 miles east of Van Horn, Texas, and so I'm about to go in and get something to eat, and then my break should be ending here pretty shortly. It's not, I don't know, I'm guessing temperature here so far is in the 90s, and it's about I guess for right now it's about maybe 1:30 in the afternoon. So I don't know how well it's going to show up. This is still kind of out in a, if not a desert landscape, close to it. Sorry that the wind is blowing and the truck is idling loud. But off in the distance you can see a train kind of going across the landscape. And, this is a pretty rural area, actually, where this truck stop's located at. Pan it on around, and you can see kind of the low mountains sort of rising up in the off in the distance. Again, kind of sorry for the wind noise. There's nothing I can really do about it at the moment. Whistling sound, if you can hear it, is actually just the wind sort of whistling through a trailer. If it blows just right, it'll make all kinds of things whistle. So it's now later in the day. It's actually, I guess you'd say it's early evening. It's after 6 p.m. And so I've stopped here at Junction, Texas, and this is where I turn off of Interstate 10 off onto other roads to get to Temple, and where the load delivers to. And so I've stopped here. There's a McDonald's here, a little truck stop with a McDonald's in it. So I'm gonna take a little pit stop here at the McDonald's and take at least a 30-minute break, and then I've got about probably at least 3 to 3.5 more hours worth of driving to do before I make it to Temple. So earlier in when in West Texas, where I started at, back there, it was, I don't know, it was about 104 degrees according to the truck thermometer, but at some point I ran into some cooler air, and so for quite a while now it's been about 85 degrees, although the sun, if you're right out in the sun's very warm, but the air isn't that bad here. So it's now about 11:37 p.m. I've made it to Temple, Texas. Been here for, I don't know, probably about 20 minutes or so, maybe. And so I'm parked outside of the place where the load delivers. Excuse me. And so go up there to the gate, the guard gate, about 3 o'clock and check in. And see if, get the load unloaded, and then come back probably out here when they're finished. I don't know how long it'll take them. Come back out here and finish my break, sleep some more. So in any case, it's about 71 degrees here, and the wind was blowing. I think the wind might have died down a little bit, or at least here where I'm parked I can't feel it. So I talked to my parents. Well, I didn't talk to my parents actually today. I talked to both younger brothers. Both, the one of them actually went over to see them, and the other one, talked to them on the phone. And so they're sore. They're still sore. Mom did, I guess, collapse this morning, and then they checked her blood pressure, and she had really low blood pressure, but then that kind of went away, and she started feeling a lot better. So that's a major thing to go through, for anybody, especially somebody, people that are in their 80s. Anybody, you go through something like that, or that was a really violent thing that happened. And were it not for the seatbelts, the call that I received day before yesterday could have been very different. So not one of the kind of calls that you want to receive. So that was when I have time, I watch a wide variety of documentaries, and I listen to a wide variety of books and what have you, and usually I go for nonfiction stuff. And so there was this statistic that I kind of ran across a few days ago, and in this they were talking about the brain, and how we sort of perceive the world, and we sort of build a model of the world, and so on and so forth, and in our heads. And so this guy said that of our visual perception, we think we have this really rich sort of perception of what the world is around us, with the different colors and textures and so on and so forth, and we're able to really recognize objects and what have you. But our visual perception, like a current visual perception, 10% of it is actually from your, like live optical input from your eyes. 10%. The rest of it is kind of put together by the brain based on what it already knows, and and it kind of automates the process. And so that's really why, if you stop and think about it, we've all probably, if you drive, every once in a while, we've all probably had the experience. You think you pull up to the stop sign and you look both ways, and you really, maybe you didn't look too closely, and you think nothing's coming, and you get ready to pull out, and then all of a sudden, the vehicle whizzes by. Where did that come from? And it's very typical to hear people say, well, that car came out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere. Well, no, it didn't. It was there. Maybe they were going fast. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Maybe it turned, or maybe you looked and you saw what you thought you wanted. You saw what you wanted to see. And so that's why it's a good idea to, never get in a hurry, because getting in a hurry is, you don't look, and so on and so forth, and people do get in a hurry, and they get all frustrated and what have you, and they think it's to their advantage. That's the, where they go off the rails. People think it's to their advantage to get upset with people, places, and things. They think it's to their advantage to be upset, and of course, it's absolutely to your detriment. There's never a good reason to get upset, because you always, you get upset, you're the loser. You're always the loser every time. So, but people love they're upset, and then of course that causes them all kinds of grief, and of all sorts of different kinds of grief, health problems and social problems, and so on and so forth. And it also causes them to become more suggestible. The more upset you are, the more you resent people, places, and things, the more suggestible you become. In other words, the more of a slave you become to your environment. So the thing is to learn the secret's to learn not to become upset in the first place, and then you don't have a problem in the second place. So but just remember, when you're kind of looking and you see what, look out into the world, you may see something and you think it's not, you can look and something's just not there, and then all of a sudden it is. And it was there all the time. You just didn't look right. And like I say, we all have that, you lose something, you can't find it in your house, you can't find your keys or whatever it is, and a lot of times you just laid it down and then it's like you don't see it, and it was there the whole time. It didn't disappear. It was, you find it later, and it was there the whole time. But so it just has to do with the way we perceive the world, and so But it's very interesting the way we look at the world and perceive the world, and so on and so forth. So anyway, I need to cut this off, see if I can get it uploaded. So from Temple, Texas, I'll catch you later.